Hi, Ginger Cook here, and I want to tell you a new brush I found from Golden Maple. And they're the perfect cloud brush, though these were not ever intended to be painted like this. The Golden Maple brushes were really for painting for people that paint models. That's what these dry brush ones are, and they come in a can like this, and there's 6 of them. There's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and I'm going to show you using just 3 colors. Black, well, really it's Paynes gray, which is ultramarine blue and black. Zinc white, which is a must for painting clouds, and titanium white, and a good reference. Here's our reference, right? I want to show you a fast, simple, and the best way I've ever found to paint clouds. This is a game changer, you guys. We put the link below in of this video on where to find these on our Amazon store. I call them smudgies. That's not what these guys call them, but they're the best smudgies I've ever used. And if I've coined a new word, yay, yay. Because if you want to learn how to paint, take the guesswork and the angst out of painting clouds, these are the brushes, a must-have brush. Hi, you guys. Ginger Cook, acrylic artist here, and I want to show you some brushes I found. These are by Golden Maple. They're dry brush. They're generally used for models, but I have discovered these are fantastic for acrylic paintings and one of the best cloud brushes I've ever found. Now, I've got a little canvas here with some black paint on it, and we're going to go ahead and use Paynes gray to make the clouds because Paynes gray is black with a little ultramarine blue, and it'll be prettier. So the first thing we're going to do is here's our reference photo. And you'll notice that this cloud is behind this one, and this one's over here by itself. So if this is the center of our picture right there, okay, and we know we've got some sort of cloud kind of coming up like this. It doesn't have to be exact. They move all the time. If you've noticed that about clouds, kind of come on down here like that. They move all the time. And you've got some sort of a shape like this. Then you've got one that's kind of like this, kind of bumpy. Then you've got something over here like this. And then you've got another one that's up here, kind of like this, like that. So that's basically what we're saying we've got, okay? So what I'm going to do first is when you're painting clouds, you start with zinc white first because that's your transparent white, the farthest one's away. We're going to come up here like this and making circles. Out of dry, I don't have any water on the brush. I'm just making, barely touching it. This is the number 4. I'm going to do my first layer of clouds. Now what happens is, because it's translucent, it's going to show some of the shadows coming through from the background color automatically. You see that? All right, now if I want something a little more, like for instance, that's kind of that, but if I want to create this, then I can tap in the next layer on these. And what you want to do is have a little paper towel ready so you can wipe off the excess. And then just feather out the edges like this. Okay, there's this first layer of cloud right there. Now let's do the next one. We're going to do the same thing with the zinc white. I'm going to come up here like this, making little circles. It's in the same brush. I'm going to just go ahead and do my first layer on these clouds. Sometimes I'm doing a diagonal, sometimes I'm making a circle, just like that. Come on down here like this. Say here's our, making little circles, kind of roll the edges up. So you have these uneven, funny little edges, okay? All right, now I'm going to take a smaller one. This is a number 1. I'm going to take some titanium white. I'm going to come up here like this. And I'm going to add just a little highlighted layer here. And then maybe right in here like this. I haven't tried anything yet. Like that. Okay, a little more paint here. Barely touch it. Little circles. And then maybe take your other brush and just sort of smudge that out. And I like to call them smudgies because I've never seen a brush that's smudged as well as these do. Barely touch it. Okay. Now if I take a little bit of the the white and the Paynes gray. I can come back here if I need to darken something like that. I can come in here and create some shadows like that. Okay. Maybe a little zinc white down in here just to say that there's something down in this area and we're not talking about it. Okay, with me? Now this next little group we'll do, here's the largest one they make is a 6, but this is a 5. And I think that's probably big. You might want this on a bigger canvas, but I'll show you what that one does. Go start with the titanium white. Okay. I don't have any water on the brush, just the white paint. Come up here like this, making these circles, and I might just leave some dark spaces. Very light pressure on this. Smudge this around. And as it kind of runs out of paint, you can see here where you see some of the holes coming through on the clouds. Now that's, that works pretty good too. And I think I'd prefer a smaller one for this. Really, this is the number 3. And we're going to show you the difference when you can really kind of play with these edges. You can use a damp brush too. To get those nice edges here like that. Just keep making circles. Now these brushes were not made for that. This is not what anybody designed these for, but I'm telling you what, I'm finding I'm using these in my acrylic paintings all the time because I can complete a painting so much faster doing this. They hold a lot of paint. You can control them. Okay. And as you can see, that you can make some beautiful, beautiful clouds with these. Just a little bit of white, a little bit of Paynes gray. Like this. Say this is some of our grayer area. Can add a little bit there like that. Then as we come over here, we'll just take a little of the darker color. Just fade this out, see like that. Then make a little zinc white, maybe in here. It's just not so dark. Like that. Come back over here into something a little darker. Like this. Release the pressure. Okay. A little darker in this area. Come back if you need to. Like that. You see how we're getting these beautiful clouds. Now this has all been kind of wet on wet, and I'm going to rinse the brush for a minute. If I dry this, which I'm going to do, I'm going to show you that's how you do your next layer. At some point you've got to dry. I'm going to show you this. So now when I go to do my next layer, cloud, kind of wipe it off. Here's my titanium white. Here's my next layer coming in front of this one. See that? Let's switch to one of the smaller brushes for these little smaller edges, because this is a little canvas. See what we're doing, and then as you come back out, you can turn to the zinc white, which is more translucent, and fade that off into this like that. So it's think of water vapor and steam. Don't think of clouds, think of steam. You're creating steam. Yes and yes. You want to create a little steam. So that's too much paint. Just wipe that off. Put a little bit of Paynes gray with that. Tap that in there. There we go. Barely touch it. Okay, and as it dries, now this is the thing, as it dries, there may be certain places in your clouds where you want them to stand out more. I want this edge to be a bit brighter, like that, so I can come back and I can lighten an edge, just barely touching it. Okay, like that, and then just pull this back down, barely touch it. Okay. Maybe right in here, because I want this one to really show that it's in front of that one. Maybe I want this one to show that it's in front of this one. Just get these edges very raggedy. Now look at that. Now let's come on over here and do this one. Just kind of roll the brush, make these little circles. I've been doing clouds for years, and a lot of times you can try different brushes, round brushes and D brushes and all kinds of ones. And I've never, honestly, probably 50 years of paint, 60 years of painting with acrylics, I haven't found anything like this. Now back to the zinc white. Let's just thin these out down here like this. Wipe off the excess. Remember to have a little paper towel or something to wipe off the excess, and then you just do the smudgy bit and smudge what you got. Put a little paint on and then smudge it out. Okay. Remember, you can layer. What if we wanted something very tiny in here like that? That isn't even their smallest one. They've got a smaller one than that, right? Well, this is a 1, right? What is this? Are you a 3? What did I do with the 1? Oh, it's over here in the water still. Okay, let me show you. Just want you to see how tiny you can do that. Look at that. I mean, you guys, is this cool or what? Okay. Let's just do a little bit, something a little bit darker down in here, the bottom. And all right, you guys, so you can see where we've got some beautiful clouds. We didn't have to do much with it. Put these in water and just try. And then maybe there's a place where you want to highlight a cloud to have some part of the cloud be a little bit more, maybe like for instance, right up in this area, or maybe here you want a little highlight. So you can come back, wipe the excess paint off. Remember, this really, as long as you just keep making the circles, is probably the easiest way, I think. I had one student say that she finally figured out how to do clouds when we were doing the personal art coaching. She says, I've never, this is so much easier now. See what I mean? So I would say that this is these smudgy, golden maple smudgy brushes, you can find them in our Amazon store, Ginger Cook, paintingwithginger.com. Look to our store. Look for the link below. We'll put that in there too. And as I happily keep painting clouds, and I've got a lot of cloud videos on YouTube that I've done, but I'm telling you what, these are the easiest, fastest clouds. But probably my new favorite way to create clouds. And I hope that you had fun watching this. and maybe picked up a tip or two on how to do clouds.